Tracy Shaw.
Tracy Shaw. Okay, brother, where you from?
Originally from Salina, Kansas, been in California 50 years. We landed in Sacramento back in 1980.
Okay, so how'd you get to California?
So my father was in the Air Force. That's why me and my brother born in the Midwest. 3 months later, we in Spain. A couple of years later, we back in California. We've been in the state ever since. He retired here in Sacramento, right near Major Air Force Base, on the little community called Lincoln Village.
Okay, Lincoln Village. All right, brother. So you said your family's from Kansas. Can you go back any further from Kansas?
No, me and my brother are from Kansas because we were born on the Air Force Base. My family, all of my family is from Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, my family is originally, I mean both sides of my family, mother and father from Columbus, Ohio, proud Buckeyes. And every man in the family served in the military. And all of my brothers, my father's brothers, including my father, moved to California at some point. So now everybody, the next generation, 90% of us are from California or have lived here most of our lives. So Sacramento was home base because that's where moms live, you know what I'm saying? But I lived all over this state. I just moved back to Sac about 7 years ago.
Okay. So can you explain what we were doing here today, and do you support reparations here
Oh,
specifically? in Sacramento?
100%, 100%. Yeah, so today was Chris Lodson. He's part of CJAC. Came to myself and my business partner and said, hey, I want to host a reparations town hall information meeting for the community in your establishment, which is the Digital Cafe and Lounge. And of course, me and Chris go way back. Chris actually started with me in my business, which was a convenience store here at Florence Square. So, you know, Chris calls, I'm gonna answer, and Chris asks, that answer gonna be yeah, mostly, right? So what we attended today was a very informative talk on the process of getting reparations, where we are in the history of, as a people in this country, of getting reparations. And, you know, to his credit, he brought us information that I wasn't aware of, but it made me aware that we're closer than we've ever been in history. We're moving past the let's talk about it phase into let's do something about it phase, which was very encouraging.
Okay. So what are some of the things that you took away from the meeting today?
Well, for one, you know, bills are being passed. We're not just, so there was a bill, everybody my age, I'm almost 60, knows about H.R. 40 that's been stumbling around the Senate for, you know, 40 years, right? This past couple of 3 years, there have actually been bills passed that we are working to get into law. And what's more, California is doing work to do reparations work and pass bills for reparations as a state. And then what I didn't know is the city of Sacramento has also jumped on that bandwagon, is looking to do some things as far as reparations goes for descendants of slavery as well. So, I mean, we already knew that federally we were looking at reparations. The state, most of us know that that process has begun to do a task force, but now what we didn't know is that here's where we are with the task force. And then on top of that, the city is also doing some things to try to advance the ball in that area.
Okay. So let's briefly talk about, you know, what you do here at this facility, and can you just give us a little background on how you came about?
Sure. Happy to. So well, I came over, long story short, when I moved up here, I was trying to be very intentional about how I spent my money. I met a young brother that owned a dollar store up in Del Paso Heights off of Norwood. We became friends, helped him out in a couple of areas to try to keep his store afloat, but it was too little, too late. So he moved back to New York. One day I get an envelope. He's giving me everything in the store that was in the store's locker. I mean, everything to start over. So I started here at Florence Square, started popping up in like, you know, maybe 60 square feet. And then that morphed into us moving to a bigger space and more permanent space where I'm actually paying rent every month, way in the back of the building, far from the front door. And then where I ultimately ended up is where I met you, Moya, in that center space next to Nubian Beauty Supply. All this has taken place in the space of like 4.5 years. But most recently, um, my business partner, Josette Mason, had approached me while I was still at a convenience store and asked me, hey, since everybody's always at your store, you know what I mean, standing around drinking coffee or sodas or whatever, why don't you join me and we'll partner this cafe vision I have, which you've experienced when you were in there. And so right now what we have is, by day it's a cafe, but it's actually a job development center for young adults with disabilities. So here's a 501(c) that serves young adults with disabilities. It's a training facility for them. They come over during the day, learn about audiovisual like you're doing now, microeconomics, food service, and then by night turns into a lounge. We book acts, we book poetry. We have a poetry act tonight. We've had several performers come on. We had Dr. Umar Johnson on that stage. So we're trying to get back to the community and help our community members that need a little more help because of their developmental challenges, and also feed folks, right? So, and give people just a nice place. When you're at Florence Square, this black-owned facility, 74,000 square feet of black-owned real estate, with like 30 retailers in here, plus services, doctors, lawyers, and what have you. Got a place to come and kick your feet up, eat a snack, drink a soda, watch TV. That's what we're doing now.
Now, what was the digital cafe before it was the digital cafe? Because if I'm correct, it wasn't always the digital cafe.
It was actually Senator Richard Pan's office.
Okay.
That we went in there and gutted the place. There's no remnants of that fact that you would not be able to walk in there and go, isn't this where it's at? No, it is a complete redo. We tore walls out, painted, redid the flooring. And so it was just, it was a space inside of a big building that was rented by Senator Pan. But once my business partner put her touches on it, it's what you see now. It's a beautiful space that's inviting. We have an awareness wall that when you get a chance to get some footage, you'll see that there's black and brown people on the wall that live with disabilities that we know from their work. They're very famous people. So it invites just the average person to come in, kick back, have a good time, relax, but also know that it's normal to be a little abnormal in this space. And I think that's what people are gravitating towards.
All right, wonderful, brother. And real quick, about how long was that project? How long did it undertake to get the
real talk?
done?
Well, the build out as you see it now took probably 5-6 months. But it's not really complete. The construction piece is complete. The trades are, but we won't be up selling breakfast and lunch until after we've purchased all our appliances and got our permits together with the city, which we're in the process of doing now.
Well, it looks really good now.
Thank you.
Doing a great job. Great job.
Shouts out to my business partner and angel investor, Josette Mason. Her fiance Peter Lampkin, who has assembled every piece of furniture, anything that came with screws, nails, or otherwise. This man put everything together by himself. In long story short, it's been a collaborative effort, and I just want to make sure that the folks at the top of the food chain get recognized that I moved into a beautiful situation because they asked me to, but they're the ones that created that space and that environment. So shouts out to them for doing something beautiful in the community.
Okay, now where can they contact maybe you specifically or the facility and come out to visit?
Sure. So you can always go to our website, which is digitalcafeandlounge.org. digitalcafeandlounge.org. Type that into your browser, it'll take you to our website. And then if you are wondering what's going on, there's an events link there. If you are looking to book the space, there's a bookings link there, or you can just reach out and call me. My number is 925-819-8118. Again, 925-819-8118. Name is Tracy, last name Shaw. Looking forward to hearing from the public.